yummy. There's part of a nest. There's more. I don't see any in the fan, funny enough, which is why the fan works. I have no idea how I got that in there with the steering wheel up. Okay, so I've been sitting here struggling, trying to figure out where this light went. Look at that! I think we can test it in this one, too. No, you can't. Alright, dash is all the way back in, guys, except I forgot just now. I gotta put those screws in. I forgot about that. Look at that, carpet's in. I'm gonna do a good vacuum of it though. Oh, we're starting to look like a vehicle again. Woo. All we got left now is I gotta replace these two seat belts with the ones we pulled. And then we gotta start putting trim panels in. Oh, and I gotta put the wire harness in that new tailgate. So there's an update for you guys. Progress update. Got the rear trim all the way on. But, oh, and I've got the wire harness all in here. I gotta find, apparently I took one of these out for this ground strap for the wiper motor, and I'm missing the little rod for the power lock. But I can find that. I probably got it in a bucket somewhere. But I've had these 621 bulbs on my desk for like a month now, and I cannot remember for the life of me, or I could not, what these are for. I remembered specifically that I only needed 3 of the 4, but they only come in 2 packs. But I couldn't remember what they're for. They're for the third brake light. So, got these. I'm going to throw these in real quick. And, I gotta go get the trim for this. I'm gonna see if I can find that little arm and this bolt here. Then I'm gonna put the panel on here. Well, we got updates. I'm still here. Got the new seatbelts in. Work good, and they don't have tears in them, so they actually retract properly. Well, that one has that guy's broke, I guess, so. But demonstrating that still functions. Oh, there. Pretend that didn't happen. My bad. Gotta get the B-pillar trims in, which I got here and there. We got the whole hatch wired in and, you know, buttoned up. The rear wiper does not work. I don't know if it's a fuse or something. It didn't work before, and we switched tailgates now, which means we switched motors, so I doubt it's that. I bet you it's either the switch or it's a fuse or something. But problem for another time. Got the seat belts all tightened up back here. Got these bolts all tightened here, so I just gotta, once we get the B-pillars and button these up, and then this bolts in on the seat, so don't have to worry about that. I had to figure out this console because we broke the two bosses down there. I think I'm gonna jam like a washer or something in there and kind of just hold it. And then we gotta figure out the center console, which I know has got some broken bits here. But those two will hold it. And then I gotta remember there's something going on with this rod, I recall. I don't remember what precisely. Maybe it's just put it in, so I don't forget. I remember specifically something about that. I did test the rear brake light. That does work. It's nice and hot in here. Durango's been running all day nonstop. It's been running for like, what, 10 hours now? You know, she's sitting here. You can't see. Let me turn the lights on for you. There we go. It's been sitting perfect all day. So, getting a good charge on that battery and testing out the cooling system. Everything seems to work fine, you know, it's idling fine, oil pressure is great. Everything seems to be working, so we're looking good. It's to the point where I'm getting close enough here that I'll probably get the driver's seat bolted down and I'll probably drive it to work tomorrow. So I gotta get it on insurance tonight, all the, you know, the legality crap. But I'll get the seat bolted in and I think I'll drive it to work tomorrow. That way I can do a good shakedown. I've driven it a little bit, but like the longest trip I think I've ever driven it with the transmission working was literally today when I went and got gas. So driving it to work back and forth a couple times will probably, we'll work out a few bugs. I know it needs shocks. I can feel it kind of do this. And I think it needs a U-joint in the drive shaft. It's not bad, but you can kind of hear it just a little bit. So we'll see if anything else works out. I don't want to like drive it as a daily yet until I get that done, but it should be fine 1 or 2 days. So yeah, we're looking good. Alright, well, we've got everything as far as the trim goes. Even went and grabbed the floor mats. All the trim in. So that leaves us just the center console, seats, and, you know, that sort of stuff. Even got the AC recharged up and verified that's all working, so I don't think the vent seal is very good in here anymore, which I knew that when I had the HVAC box part, but it was blowing nice and cold out here. It was okay out of here, but it wasn't perfect. So you could definitely feel a little bit of heat bleed. But yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is, because I keep forgetting, I gotta put that fuse panel back together under the engine bay. That's the underside cover for it. If you remember, we had that apart looking at some corrosion issues chasing this transmission thing, which ended up being the computer. So I'm gonna get that put together quick, and then we're buttoned up under the engine bay. And then I'm gonna start looking at getting the driver's seat in here. I gotta find a clip here because the old clip was kind of rotten and pulled out here, so I gotta find a new like clip to slide in there so I can bolt all 4 holes, or all 4 bolts on the seat. There, got that cover all back on there. That way we don't forget. It's bolted down here. Remember, this clip broke, but that's all right. But yeah, everything's wired properly, routed. Everything still works, so we are done under the engine bay, which is great news. Well, I got the center console back in. I got them screwed down under that mat there, and then there's 2 bolts inside under there. And then I was able to save those clips that we had to rip out, and then I put 2 different bolts in there so it's secured all the way. So this is all in, got all the mats all cleaned up. Next would be the seats, which is what I've got inside warmed up right now. seats in there. I got them all cleaned up and treated with leather treatment. Turned out okay. This one's got that little wear tear here that the mouse residents had fun with as well, but it's all right. It'll pass. There's still cushion here and everywhere. I'm not going to worry about it. Everything's in. Besides the little trim pieces that go over the seat bolts, I haven't done that yet because I got to clean them up. I did get a new clip in there, so we got 4 bolts in this driver's seat. Got no lights except for a door ajar light. Sitting at 159,000 miles that you can't read. All of our gauges look good. Our dome lights all work. They shut off. They turn back on. I got the transmission change kit in there for the fluid change that we still haven't done that we got to do. Miscellaneous tools, my spare bolts bin. We need that trim piece, and then we need the mat that goes inside that rear cargo space. But otherwise, we've got everything else in here. I don't have the seats in for the rear, mostly because I have to take them apart and see how bad they're damaged and or vacuum them out before they go back in. But that's a plan for another day. It is ready. I'm going to drive this to work tomorrow. It is insured as of 12:01 a.m. I think, tomorrow morning. So we're going to take her on this real maiden voyage, kind of work out some kinks. I already know it needs 4 shocks. It needs a U-joint in the rear drive shaft, but I don't think it's so bad that I can't drive it yet. We'll see. I'll end up blowing the transfer case out of it, and then we get to have a real fun time. So we're gonna call it good there. There's that computer got hot and shut off thing again. So watch this. I'm gonna show you guys now that we got it in action. So right now it's gonna show, yep, all the lights are coming on the dash, screaming in pain. But watch this. So I think it's this port on the computer. If I hear it, I think I heard the fuel pump come back. Maybe, but it's also, I think it might be getting hot. It's hard to say what's wrong with that damn thing. Yeah, we're back. So I heard it kick in. Good as new, I guess. I wonder if it's a bad solder joint on that connector. Whatever happens to these computers. Common issue. This rebuilt one's obviously having the same issue. Trying to get back and forth with them to have them reman it, you know, because it's got a warranty, but I can live with that because it seems fine. It literally idled here for 10 hours today, and it hasn't had any issues until I shut it off and I turn it back on, and now it's being stupid again. But we're gonna ignore that. We know we can get another computer if we need to. That's a non-issue. But yeah, we got the interior done besides the rear seats here. Got our third brake light working with new bulbs. Charged up the AC even, and that blows. Heat works great. Radio works. The speaker, this speaker is about the one that's perfect. That front speaker is that one's pretty much dead, and that one, it doesn't do anything. But so, oh, the little tweeter does though. The bottom one is dead. This one doesn't have bass. This one's perfect, and that one's kind of, I don't think that one's got bass, but I don't think it's got very good mid-range. I don't know. Audio terms, I don't quite know. It doesn't have the high pitchy noises so well. Here, I can show you, I bet. If I turn the fan down. That's the front left speaker. Change radio station so we can get copyright. That's the right rear. That's the left rear. Oh, that one's working fine again. So these speakers on the left side are good. The right side, passenger side's junk. So I'll leave it at that. I'm gonna take it for a quick cruise, just to get the feel of it, make sure it's fine. It is fine. And we're gonna park it for the night. We're gonna drive to work tomorrow. So that's gonna do it, I think, for now anyway. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy this series on this 99 Durango that we have rescued basically from a field after sitting for 13 to 14 years, parked for a bad computer. So I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I can hear it and feel it. That I'm not gonna risk that that U-joint. Actually, I've changed my mind after driving it here. If I get it up to speed a little more, it's worse. Yeah, you can hear that U-joint. At least that's what I'm pretty sure it is. I remember wiggling the drive shaft, and I remember that, and this is like when I first bought it, like 6 months ago or whatever. I remember one of those U-joints being loose, and I think that's that vibration and noise I hear. So we're gonna actually see about picking up some U-joints tomorrow, and then we'll just replace them. So I will not drive this to work tomorrow, but I'm gonna consider this a success anyway, in that we've got the interior back together, and it is like, you know, roadworthy essentially. Besides the fact it needs U-joints and shocks. Whoops. I forgot about the ball hitch, otherwise I did it. Well, my bad. Alright, so we're under the Durango here looking at these U-joints. That one's okay. It's this one right here. If I might have to do two hands here, but I don't know if I'll be able to show you, but it's this one right here, this joint specifically. The needles are all gone in it. Something like that. It's loose. Yeah, here you can kind of see it. Maybe. Yeah, see that move? Yeah, if you notice this doesn't move, that moves. It'd be better if it was up and down because I could push on it, but right now, just the way it's twisted, it's sideways. Trust me, that's bad, but while we were messing with it, if you watch that, and I can't do this with one hand so well, but it's not supposed to do that. The trans mount's bad. I can tell by the way that it is. So we gotta add that to the list. And then, while we were back here, let me roll my way back here. Looking around, and that one's no good. And that one ain't far behind. So we gotta do those. And while we're doing those, we might as well do those, because this one's got a little bit of play in it. Yeah, you can't see. It's easier to do this with two hands, but we'll replace those while we're in here. The front drive shaft seems fine, so we're gonna ignore that. So we for sure sway bar links to the rear, sway bar bushings. Then we're gonna do both U-joints because we got the drive shaft out, and I think that seal where the yoke goes in is shot too, so we're gonna probably replace that. And then obviously the trans mount, but I gotta get that stuff. I only have the U-joints right now. So we're gonna get this out. And to get this out, it gets like 40 degrees out. You don't need to go inside right now. You just gotta get this bolt, that bolt, this one and that one. Drop your U-joint down, and then it'll slide out of there. Have a pan ready in case you lose any fluid. So, yeah, and that's it. And then we gotta pop these clips out and hopefully get these guys that are hermetically sealed inside there out. So we'll see how that goes. Alright, so we got all four bolts loosened. I'm working on them now. I got a 6 point 3/8 wrench, because you're in for a bad time if you break one of those guys off. So, not really, I guess. But you have to put a new yoke in it. But you know what I mean. You don't want to do that if you don't have to. So anyway, they're all loosening up. I did spray LPS because that's what I had. I sprayed LPS up in these holes just to get on the back side of them before I did that. Alright, so this guy's seized in there a little bit, or was. That's what I got in here. So I got a screwdriver and I'm hitting it right here with a hammer. And if you look right there, I just got it starting to move. So then I got my elbow up here holding it so when it falls, it doesn't hurt me. So we're gonna get her off here in a minute. Alright guys, so here is the U-joint I was talking about. As you can see, that is no good at all. Look at that. That's the play. All the needle bearings are gone in that U-joint. The rear U-joint, that one back there, he's fine, but we're going to replace him anyway. But look at that. That's bad. If I do the rest here, that one's fine. That one's a little bit, but really it's that one right there. Yeah, this guy's gone, so we're gonna go swap these out real quick. And you just gotta take these clips out and then pop them out. There's a process to it. So, and I've actually never actually done it myself, but you pop it out and then I think you can slide them through one way and then it'll kind of pivot out, I believe, something like that. But there's better videos online on how to do this. Alright, so welcome back to day 2 of the drive shaft replacement. And here we have a different U-joint. So, originally I was sold 2 354s, which said it fit into both sides of the rear drive shaft on the Durango. And technically it does. But what it didn't account for in the diagram me and the parts guy were looking at is that it doesn't fit into the rear axle. The 354 fits the front U-joint that goes into the yoke, which goes into the transfer case. The rear one only fits into the drive shaft, and it didn't account for that 2 of the caps are a larger size for what goes into the rear axle. And so this one is 458, and it's got outside clips for the drive shaft and inside clips for the axle. And this is what it looks like, and here's the old caps I brought for reference. But that's our guy. I don't know what's up with that greaser. I've never seen one like that, so I'll probably swap that quick to something I can hook into. But yeah, so that's, yeah, now we get to do it again. Alright, well, we got the rear U-joint in, finally. That's great. These ones got the inside clips here that hold it in when it goes into the rear axle. Otherwise, front's back in. I got Dad airing up the tire there. And we're going to see if the shake is gone, I suppose. At least last. Oh, we got to grease this one up too. Haven't done that yet. But I'll let you guys know how the trip turned out. Alright, got it rolled down off the ramps. Got the battery in. Got it actually screwed down. This was a little loose, but I think that's kind of seized where it's at. But hey, it's going to hold. Check the oil. We were quart low. Top off the power steering. Topped off the coolant in the rad and the reservoir. And we're good to start it. Oh, we just got back from the test drive. No noise at all. This thing goes down the road. A little bit of shake at like 70, 75, but that's these junkyard tires. I never balanced them, never did anything with them, and they're not that great to begin with. They're not bad, but you know what I mean. But no, it goes down the road. No noise at 60, 65. Put it in 4-wheel drive, did 65, no noise, nothing. No shake. Steering's still a little loose, but that's suspension work we haven't done yet. So it turned out great. This thing runs and drives fantastic. Kicked her down, did all the good stuff. So we're gonna take this to work tomorrow and probably the rest of the week. Just a little shakedown, I'll find things. I have got the transmission mount on order. I got the rear sway bar links and bushings on order, and I just got to put it up in the air and figure out what's wrong with the front end. Alright, so we're on our maiden voyage to work here. Obviously we're doing 55. We got 159,026 miles on it, and we're doing 55, no noise, no shake, no nothing. So this is a great first test drive here, real test drive, stress test if you will. The only thing I've noticed is the battery's going dead overnight again, and that might be related to that computer that's doing wonky things, but I don't know. I'll have to look into that some more, or hopefully it just goes away, But yeah, looking good here. It's driving well. I got the boost pack with me if it goes dead at work, but I'll probably pull the battery when I get there. So this goodie I just found. Nice aluminum wheel.